Domain is a collection of tasks and report for a particular aspect of a particular feature in the recruiting. For example, job application is one domain. Personal information is one domain. Okay. Candidate personal information is one domain. We will see this in detail in the tenant. Domain policy for a particular domain defines who can have access to that particular domain. So we have the liberty of choosing what all kind of roles we can add in the domain policy, which will in turn be able to see the domain details. We will see this as well in the tenant. Then comes the business process. Business process is a sequence of actions, okay, in a collected manner in order to carry out a particular action in recruiting, okay, and in Workday as well. For example, for recruiting, we have job application BP, which we will configure, okay. Then there are also some other BPs like hire BP. So all these BPs are like action points for us. When they are executed means our particular job is being executed. Termination. There's a business process for termination as well. Okay, we will see in the tenant about these business process as well. Then business policy. Business policy defines who all can take part in the business process. Okay. Then comes the functional area. Functional area consists of domains and business processes. Okay, for a particular module in Workday. Like we have functional area of recruiting, staffing, compensation, security, etc. We'll work on these as well. Then comes the security groups. Security groups are the collection of users who can view, modify same task and reports. For example, manager is a security group, HR partner, security administrator. Okay, all of them are the security groups. So let's go into the tenant and see about these. Okay. So let's suppose how we navigate in a domain. There are different ways to see them. First one is to see them through the functional area. So we just need to type functional area and the task related to that will come. And we will get the first task. So see, all these functional areas, these are defined by Workday. We as implementers cannot create or delete any functional area. We can only enable or disable functional areas. Okay, so for recruiting, let us search for the recruiting functional area. We can add a filter over here. Let me search for the functional area from the domain. So what I'm doing, I'm searching for a domain with the prefix of candidate, means it will include all the domains related to candidate. Let me click on any one of the domain, and from here I'll go to the functional area, recruiting. Okay, so this is the functional area and it includes around 140 domains, and from these domains, which all domains are of our importance in recruiting are these. Okay, so in order to set up the candidate security, by candidate security means who all can access the candidate related actions, reports, tasks will be done through this candidate data domain. Let me show you.
Shilpa, just mention one thing, that functional areas are already created by Workday.
Yes.
But there is a task which says create functional areas. So how is that task operational in that case?
Okay, let me check. And regarding the create functional area task, if you click on it, you will see that not much use it is of creating functional area using that task, because it doesn't ask for any details and it doesn't include any detail. Please try to create a functional area and just see.
Okay. So functional areas are set up at the time when initially you engage Workday. It's been done by Workday setup?
Yeah, this is totally done by Workday and it gets updated every 6 months. Okay, there are certain functional areas added or domains added. We don't generally create functional areas.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
No issue. Okay, till the time, is my screen through?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, let's discuss on the PPT. So our first topic for today was of setting up candidate security. So how we will be doing that? We will first go to the functional area and we'll go and see the functional areas present. Okay, where my screen got lagged. We'll filter out with the recruiting filter. Okay, and we'll click on that recruiting filter and we'll see all the domains which are present in that recruiting functional area. It means all those tasks and reports will be part of the recruiting functional area, which are included in each and every domain. Okay, so I would request you to please click on recruiting in your tenants and just search for the recruiting functional area. Okay, so if you'll see the list of the domains, you can see all these domains present, which are of importance from our point of view, from our recruiting point of view. Okay, so the first one is of candidate global search. So who can view the details as well as the name of the candidate in Workday tenant? This domain provides the task and report for such kind of security to the security groups. We can add the security groups in this domain. Okay, we'll see how we can add it. Okay, by changing the domain policy of this domain. Then the second one is candidate communication. By this we mean who can communicate with candidate. Okay, externally or internally. Then the third one is candidate data. So it is related to the candidate data access and it includes who can edit the job application details of the candidate. Okay, so when the candidate applies for a job, what happens? We give certain details and it gets stored in the Workday. So in Workday itself, who can edit those job applications? That access will be provided if that particular security group is added in this domain. Then the fourth one is candidate data employee reference. Okay, means who can refer the candidates. Okay, it will be given in the access for that will be given in this domain. Then candidate data job application. It means who will be able to see the job application of the candidate. Let's suppose if manager wants to see, then manager security group should be included in this domain. Okay. Then candidate data, language skills. Any changes related to the language skill of the candidate can be accessed. Any task and reports related to the language skills of a candidate can be accessed by the security group which we are going to give. I know through PPT it's difficult to imagine what I'm talking about, but we'll see in the tenant and it will be very easy for you. Then candidate data, any other additional information anyone wants to view or modify, that would be possible by giving the access in this domain. Candidate data, personal information like phone number, address, basic details about his birthplace, birth, email ID, and qualification, every such thing, who can access it? Then candidate merge, who has the access of merging the candidates? Okay, generally what happens, let's suppose if a candidate has applied in Workday and after 6 months he again applies. Okay, so he will get a message that your data is already present in the Workday. So he will get a message, and who can provide that message or who can see within Workday that this particular candidate is already there in the system? Those security groups will be given the access over here. Then related to candidate reporting, who can report to a candidate, it will be given as well. Invite to apply, which all security group can invite candidates to apply to a particular job requisition. So we will see how invite to apply feature is present in the Workday as well. Then who can manage candidates? Okay, obviously generally managers are given this access. And who can move candidate? By move candidate feature, we mean in the job application, there are various stages, right? Review, screen, interview, background check. So what happens once a particular stage is completed? A candidate should be moved to the next level of segment. So who will have that access? Generally, primary recruiters have this access, or certain other kinds of recruiters. Then prospects. Who can see the details for the prospects? Okay. We in Workday can create prospects as well. We can create candidate also, and we can invite them to apply for a job requisition by going on their worker on their profile, and there's one option present of inviting them to apply. We'll see how it is done. Recruiting personal notes. Okay, let me check on this. Yeah, okay. So generally while recruiting, managers drop personal notes as a feedback or any kind of message if they want to give. So that access is provided over here. Okay, let me check if my tenant is working. Okay, so the first domain which we have to see is a candidate global search. Let me type it right. Okay, so this is the domain. So if we go into the reports and tasks, all these action items comes under this particular domain. Completed personal reminders for candidate view. Completed personal reminder for mass job application. Create personal reminders. Upcoming personal reminders. View candidate profile for worker. So all these things come under this domain. And if we want to see over here, allowed security group types. These are the types, not the security groups. So if we go and search for any one of the type, we will see under this particular type of security group, which depends upon the business unit generally, we have 28 security groups currently present. So if we see the details over here, some of them are made by the participant and some are workday defined. Like as per the name, you can see all of them are defined by the participants. The recruiter for job recognition. Let me go to the domain policy. Edit security policy permission. We'll click on this. So over here you can edit which all security groups can view or modify this particular domain. So currently we have these many security groups: administrator, coordinator, administrator, recruiting administrator, recruiter, manager, information, HR administrator. So we can add our own security group as well. Like I have already created a security group Javed and I can include it and I can give the access of only viewing this particular domain. Means he cannot take any actions. Okay. If there are any tasks, he can only see those tasks. He cannot carry out functions on those tasks. Okay. And I'll click on OK. So what happened whenever in Workday we make any changes in the policy, it could be the domain policy or business process policy, we always execute this particular task, activate pending security changes. So only after executing this task, our required changes will be reflected in the tenant. We have to click on the checkbox. Okay, let me go to my domain. In Workday, what happens, we can search by only applying three letters of the word, means keeping the three initials. By that, we can search anything in Word. We don't have to, by that, we can search in Word.
Shilpa, will we cover creation of security groups in recruiting module? Like what you just did, creating security group and giving permission. Is that part of the module?
Ideally, it is not part of recruitment because the security team provides us with the roles, but I will show you from where we can create the security groups. I'll show you one.
Okay.
Just a second. So if we'll go to the policy and look out for all the security groups which have the access, we'll see our Javed also present. See over here, Javed has the access to view this domain. And so similarly, we have certain other candidate information, candidate related domains as well. So this domain provides access to candidate in searching. Now we'll search for other domain, candidate communication. So the client generally tells in the project what all features he wants for his recruiting, and accordingly we make the changes. So this domain provides access to all communications sent to a candidate. This includes who created it, the subject, the body, who sent. Okay, what which is great. Come to the candidate created domain do it. Who all domain give like mass action, mass actions. You can pool members and send message for candidate pools, bulk messaging communication to this particular. The count of secured items, 25 items are there. By secured item, we mean the security groups and the task in the reports. So we will go to the domain policy. I'm not going to edit it because again I have to do the activate pending security changes. So if I would have not done that, Javed would not be reflecting again. So these are the current security groups added. So securable action, it gives 7. No. 17 now. Okay. So similarly, I would like you all to please go through each and every domain in this list. You can note it down. Okay. And just go through the tenant and see their description and what all tasks and reports are present in the report and task section. Okay. Let me show you now what a business process looks like. So as you can see, specify defines what all steps will be included in the hire BP. So once the person is selected for ready for hire, all these tasks will get executed one by one. And who will give it? These security groups will perform these actions. Okay. So for example, local employee documentation. This is the step which gets triggered. And who will take actions on this? HR executive will make sure that the candidate provides the required documents. Then start a background check. Who will start it? HR partner will start it. Proposed compensation hire is the next step. So all these steps are executed in sequence, one by one. Completion of one leads to the triggering of the next step automatically. Okay. So these are the security groups. So similarly, we have one for job application as well. We will configure for job application in this module, in this session. Means we will create business process for job application. And business policy, how we can see that? Let me just view it. I won't edit it because So these are the business processes who can take part in this higher BP. By saying take part, I mean you have seen, right, in the group section there are certain security groups. So which all groups can be present here? That is decided when we give this particular group in the business policy. Okay, like if I want to edit this definition. Okay, so if we want to edit a particular business process, we go over here, and in the group section we can see the drop down list of all the possible participants. Okay, so this particular drop down includes only those security groups which are included in the business policy. Okay, so making any changes in the policy, we always have to execute activate pending security changes task. Okay, I hope I am clear till here. Any doubts till here?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So I would like you all to please go through each and every domain and see what all details are there. Then these candidate related domains were for the candidate's perspective. Now we have person data domains as well in the staffing functional area. Okay, now how we will, either we can just type in domain colon and the name of this domain, or we can go to the functional area, view functional area, and filter the staffing module, staffing functional area. And if we click on that staffing function area, we'll see all these domains added already by the workday. Okay, so these domains are for those candidates who have some worker history. Okay, for example, either they were part of the organization and they moved to some other organization and again they are coming back, or if they are applying internally within an organization, then they will have a worker record, right? So for those kind of candidates, these domains are present who have worker record as well. So please make a note of these as well and just go into the tenant and see the description and the task and reports for this. We don't have to configure this, we just have to know that all these features are given by Workday to us, to recruiting team. Then our second topic is of restrict access to candidates other job applications. So by this, what we mean, take an example, we are talking about here about candidates other job application domain. Only this domain we are taking into consideration. So let's suppose if manager has the access, okay, and we want to restrict his access of not seeing the job application of every kind of candidate, okay, then this function is applied. Let's suppose manager can only see the job application of external candidates, means the candidates who are applying externally to the career site or any job portal, external site they are applying, then only those applications the manager can see. But we don't want to give manager the access to see the job applications of employee or contingent worker, contractual basis workers who are applying internally inside the organization. Okay, maybe they want to move to some other domain, from testing to HR or from development to HR, anything like that. So manager should not have the access to see that thing. So in order to execute that feature, how we do it? we open the candidate data job application domain first. Okay, we go to the policy, to the domain policy of this domain, and then we add our segment-based security groups. So for such kind of features, we have to create a special kind of security group called segment-based security group. As the name suggests, this particular security group will have only segment of access to a particular feature. So let me show you how we can create segment-based security group.
Is this like a user-based security group or role-based security group, the segment one?
It is more of a role-based security, not user-based. Because user-based has maximum access in the tenant, right? We don't want to give that access, that kind of access.
Okay.
So it's okay. So this is the task for creating any kind of security group. Okay. So here we are talking about only segment-based security group. So we don't have to do any prerequisite. But if we want to create certain other kinds of security group, generally we prepare a role unconstrained type of security group. I'll show you that as well, how we do it. But over here, we will just select the type, segment-based security group. Name, let us give. Okay, so in this particular type of segment-based security group, let's suppose manager is the security group we want to make changes on. And access right, access to segment. So we are talking about job application, right? So we will see all these three kind of access. We want job application of only external candidates to be visible to manager. So we will click on it and just provide this particular access to this manager. Okay, and we'll click on OK there. So this is how we create the segment-based security group. Similarly, we have sometimes or generally we have to create role-based security groups as well. So what are role-based security groups? A particular employee is attached to a particular role or a position. For example, Javed is an employee in this Workday tenant, and he will be given the access or he will be given the role of a manager or HR partner or security administrator. Okay, so we assign a role to a position. Okay, it will get more clear. Just a second. This is generally done by the security team, but just to know about the task, for creating role-based, we first create assignable roles. Okay, like over here, as you can see, this role name is present. Workday role. Okay, this is a very complex role, no need to get into this. you will see this one. Manager is a role, and enable for supervisory is supporting, not a leader role, it's a supporting role. If I scroll down here, security administrator access is assigned because he has the maximum access in the tenant and is generally present in each and every uh, domain of the functional area. So while creating, we generally give security administrator over here. Okay. So this 101 manager is created already. Then we go for the task create security group. We select role based unconstrained and name. And over here, we will assign the role which was created. See, and we click on OK. And let me now go to a SOPOC and show you how we assign role-based security group. Sorry, supervisory ORG. Okay, I don't think so it has much details. Okay, we go to the roles in the actions. Then we click on assign roles. Okay, the effective date from where this role will be given the access. See, over here, the role is HR partner and it is given to a particular employee, right? HR associate, it is given to a particular name. So okay. So this is a role which is there and we are assigning it to a particular person. Let's suppose. Okay. So this is how we assign roles. In support, we generally assign role at the support level. And what I gave the name as Shilpa 1, that was the name for this role. Okay. Generally, when we assign, we take the maintain assignable role name which we give. Okay. This is not part of recruitment exactly, but this is how roles are created. And the configuration for these roles is given by the client specifically. So we were talking about job candidates, job application domain. Okay, so we will give the segment based security group Okay, so over here we will go to the edit security policy permissions. And over here we can give our segment-based security group. Now we know. Yeah. So this is already created by me. Let me search. This was the name. See, over here it is coming. We can give the view of modify. We have to give the view of modify as well. So if a person has modify access, definitely he will be able to view as well. This is how we restrict the access for a particular domain by creating segment-based security groups. Then coming to the next topic, set up candidate pool security. So we have seen, right, what a candidate pool is, where a lot of candidates are present or prospects are present, and we generally invite them to apply. Let me show you how we invite them. Okay, there's a very not a proper pool, only one person is there. So here we will get the details about the candidates. Like Logan, she is the topmost candidate present, and she was sourced through employer referral, and she has these many skills, certification, schools, current company, and the job title is this. Let me search for any prospect, or all of them are hired into the system. Yeah, I think every candidate is hired into the system. And click on anyone. Okay, since it's hired, if he would have been a candidate in job application, there is an option coming over here to invite to apply. Let me search. So these are the list of prospects, student prospects who are currently studying as well. So I can go to the profile of any one of the prospect. Job change. He is already into a job application process. Pre-applicant. Active. He will also not have the option. Okay, currently there are no prospects as well. Okay, in upcoming sessions, we will be creating new prospect candidates and inviting them to apply. Just wanted to tell you from where we get the option of invite to apply. Yeah, I'll tell you just a second. Let us finish today's course and then we'll let you know. Assign the security group to one or more of these domains in recruiting functional area. So we will just simply search for this over here. And all the domains related to candidate pools will come over here. And first one is manage membership. Manage membership. This is the domain. We'll click on it. This domain gives users the ability to tag prospect candidate into static candidate pools. Okay. So we can tag those prospects or candidate in static candidate pools. Static candidate pools are those which will be taken into consideration for sure. Okay, the candidates will be considered as static, that they will be definitely invited to apply for a requisition. Add to pool, assign pools. All these actions are coming under manage membership pools. We can edit this domain policy. Let us only see the domain you here. Recruiter job organization. These security groups are present. And candidate pool is also one part. Candidate pool is the super domain. So there are domains and subdomains as well. The difference is only in the access of the task and the reports. So this particular domain private pool create will give the access who can create private candidate pools. Okay, so these are the allowed security group types based on the business units. If we click on custom, we will see 65 security groups are present. So this is how we manage the security related to recruiting by making changes in the domain policy, business policies. So please make note of all domains as well for candidate pool security. Okay, so in future, if any changes are required in the candidate pool aspect, all these domains will be taken into consideration. Similarly, for worker data of a candidate, these many domains will be considered, which are part of staffing functional area. Then recruiting functional area. Okay. And regarding time to fill report, which you were not able to see yesterday, we have a separate topic of time to fill report. So we will see that in the upcoming sessions. And for the candidate pool also, we have the separate session for those. So we will get clarification on those part over there. Any doubt you have for today's session?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I would want you all to please look into the tenant so that you will get used to its, various features. It will create more queries and you will be able to understand more. Please explore the tenant, start exploring it. The recruiting security is all about this. Okay. So tomorrow also we will be covering part 2 of recruiting security related to the assessments and the candidate pools, interviews and everything. Okay. So tomorrow our topic for security will get over. And after that we'll start with the creation of requisitions and more interesting parts will come then. Okay.
Sounds good.
So I think we can stop with today's session. Please have a look in your tenant definitely today for today's and yesterday's topic. Okay. And let me know for any queries.